Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. My Cousin Vinny. My Cousin Vinny is a 1992 American comedy film written by Dale Launer and directed by Jonathan Lynn. The film stars Joe Pesci, Ralph Macchio, Marisa Tomei, Mitchell Whitfield, Lane Smith, Bruce McGill and Fred Gwynne. This was Gwynne's final film appearance before his death on July 2, 1993. The film deals with two young New Yorkers traveling through rural Alabama who are arrested and put on trial for a murder they did not commit and the comical attempts of a cousin, Vincent Gambini, a lawyer fresh out of law school, to defend them. Much of the humor comes from the contrasting personalities of the brash Italian-American New Yorkers Vinny and his fiancée Mona Lisa and the more reserved Southern townspeople. Lawyers have praised the movie's realistic depiction of courtroom procedure and trial strategy. Pesci, Gwynne and Tomei all received critical praise for their performances, and Tomei won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Plot: driving through Alabama in the 1964 Buick Skylark convertible, Billy Gambini and Stan Rothenstein, college students from New York who just got scholarships to UCLA, shop at a convenience store and accidentally shoplift a can of tuna. After they leave, the store clerk is robbed and killed, and Billy and Stan are arrested for the murder due to circumstantial evidence and a confession to the shoplifting that is misconstrued as one to the shooting. Billy is charged with murder and Stan as an accessory. Billy's mother tells him there is an attorney in the family, his cousin Vinny. Vincent LaGuardia Gambini travels there accompanied by his fiancée Mona Lisa Vito. Although he is willing to take the case, Vinny is a personal injury lawyer from Brooklyn, newly admitted to the bar and with no trial experience. Vinny manages to fool the trial judge, Chamberlain Haller, about being experienced enough for the case. His ignorance of basic courtroom procedures, dress code and his abrasive attitude cause the judge to repeatedly hold him in contempt. Much to his client's consternation, Vinny does not cross-examine any of the witnesses in the preliminary hearing. Except for lack of a murder weapon, it appears that the district attorney Jim Trotter III has a strong case that will lead to convictions. After Vinny's poor showing at the hearing, Stan fires him and uses the public defender John Gibbons and nearly convinces Billy to do the same. Despite his missteps, Vinny shows that he is able to make up for his inexperience with an aggressive and perceptive questioning style. Vinny quickly discredits the testimony of the first three witnesses and Billy and Stan's faith is restored. On the trial's third day, Trotter produces a surprise witness, FBI analyst George Wilbur, who testifies that the pattern and chemical analysis of the tire marks left at the crime scene are identical to the tires on Billy's Buick. With only the lunch recess to prepare his cross-examination, and unable to come up with a strong line of questioning, Vinny lashes out at Lisa. However, Vinny realizes that one of Lisa's photos holds the key to the case. The flat and even tire marks going over the curb reveal that Billy's car could not have been used for the getaway. After requesting a records search from the local sheriff, Vinny drags Lisa into court to testify as an expert witness. During Vinny's questioning, Lisa testifies that only a car with an independent rear suspension and positive traction could have made the tire marks, and the only one that could be mistaken for Billy's 1964 Buick Skylark is a 1963 Pontiac Tempest with the same color and tires. Vinny recalls George Wilbur, who confirms this. Vinny then recalls the local sheriff, who testifies that two men who fit Billy and Stan's descriptions were just arrested in Georgia for driving a stolen green Pontiac Tempest, and were in possession of a gun of the same caliber used to kill the clerk. Trotter moves to dismiss all charges. The judge congratulates Vinny, and as they drive away he and Lisa bicker about their wedding plans. Critical reception. The film received generally positive reviews. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds a rating of 85%. Based on 52 reviews, the site's consensus reads: the deft comic interplay between Joe Pesci and Marisa Tomei helps to elevate My Cousin Vinny, predictable script, and the result is a sharp, hilarious courtroom comedy. Tomei won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress at the 65th Academy Awards in 1993. Director Lynn has a law degree from Cambridge University, and lawyers have praised the accuracy of My Cousin Vinny's depiction of courtroom procedure and trial strategy, with one stating that the movie is close to reality even in its details. Part of why the film has such staying power among lawyers is because, unlike, say, A Few Good Men, everything that happens in the movie could happen, and often does happen, at trial. One legal textbook discusses the film in detail as an entertaining and extremely helpful introduction to the art of presenting expert witnesses at trial for both beginning experts and litigators, and criminal defenders, law professors, and other lawyers use the film to demonstrate voir dire and cross-examination. Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals Judge Richard Posner praised My Cousin Vinny as being John Marshall Law School professor Alberto Bernabe wrote that Vinny is terrible at the things we do teach in law school, but very good at the things we don't. United States Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia cited My Cousin Vinny as an example of the principle that a client can choose his own lawyer. The authors of Real Justice, The Courtroom Goes to the Movies gave the film its highest rating, along with several films based on real trials, such as Judgment at Nuremberg and Breaking Morant. In 2008, the ABBA Journal ranked the film on its list of the 25 greatest legal movies, and in 2010 ranked Pesci's character as 2 on its list of the 25 greatest fictional lawyers. Lynn, an opponent of capital punishment, believes that the film expresses an anti-death penalty message without preaching to people, and demonstrates the unreliability of eyewitness testimony. Lawyers find the film appealing, according to the director, because there aren't any bad guys, with the judge, prosecutor, and Vinny all seeking justice. Lynn stated that both he and Launer sought to accurately depict the legal process in Vinny favorably, comparing it to trial and error, for which he could not make what he believed were necessary changes. Proposed film sequel. In an interview on March 14, 2012, the film's screenwriter Dale Launer talked about a sequel he had written involving Vincent Gambini practicing law in the United Kingdom. Marisa Tomei dropped out. The studio hired another screenwriter to rework the script without Tomei's character. Eventually the project was shelved. Novel sequel series. In 2017, author Lawrence Kelter began a My Cousin Vinny novel series with Back to Brooklyn, which is intended to be in the spirit of the Thin Man series. With the setting updated to contemporary times, the series depicts the further cases of Vinny Gambini, with Mona Lisa operating as his investigator. Album. Pesci later reprised the Vincent LaGuardia Gambini character for his 1998 album Vincent LaGuardia Gambini Sings Just For You, which contains the song Yo Cousin Vinny. The album cover portrays Pesci in a red suit similar to the usher suit he wore in the film. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Would you like to know more?